And here we go with the, what's this now, the fourth set of Liquibition number 24. We have Bradoock spawning at the 12 o'clock position and JF spawning at the 6th position in a lovely shade of yellow. What are your thoughts on, well, cheesing at this stage, we'll say?
What? What did you say? Didn't understand.
Well, what? So if we've got, well, what if JF doesn't decide to go for a 12 Nexus? What if he decides to go for, say, I don't know, 2-gate Zealot, or maybe even 2-gate range?
Well, I wouldn't go 2-gate range on this map. It's a ramp map. Only if you really expect 2-fac would I consider going 2-gate range. But I don't think you can put, if Terran decides to expand, you can't put any pressure on it with your 2-gate range. So I wouldn't consider that a wise decision.
Fair enough, and I mean really the only cheese you can do here is some kind of behind the minerals proxy or a gateway in the natural, and we haven't seen that from JF anyway. And JF's pylon has finished. I don't see a probe going to make the gateway, and I am going to be expecting the 12 Nexus.
Yeah, you're right. It'll be a 12 Nexus.
And Bradoock is actually doing a rather fast scout, so he will be able to see the 12 Nexus in time, and maybe he might just go for a 2-Rax rush.
No, he just added this gas. It's a 12 Rax, 12 gas here, and he's gonna scout that 12 Nexus immediately. But he's sending his SCV around. I think he's afraid of some proxy or something on this 2-player map. Or is he intending on proxying his first factory? Oh, is he gonna do that build where you proxy your factories behind the ridge?
Oh no. This is exactly what C did a long time ago, if I remember correctly. Oh wait, I think he's actually going to go mine those minerals. And actually, SCVs are better at mining those minerals than Protoss are, because actually, if the probe tries to mine those minerals from below the ramp, they actually miss mining the minerals, which is something I found out the hard way.
Wow, I didn't know about that. But he's adding his first factory in his base, so it's not the weird build I thought it would be. Who did that again? Was it Iris? Was it Dark Elf? I don't remember.
Lots of Terrans have done it, but I think the most notable would be Fake Steve and C. Oh no, it wasn't Fake Steve, it was Fake Steve's opponent, whatever that guy was. I can't remember who that was. Anyway, JF doesn't know that he's going to be having a hard time defending on this map because he's going to lose those minerals early on. Because he's lost those minerals, Vulture harass is going to be that much more effective.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. And we see only two SCVs on gas for Bradoock, but he's moving SCVs off the minerals. It looks like he's gonna try a marine SCV rush on that 12 Nexus build from JF here, and reinforcing it with vultures. It's gonna be really critical if he can get his bunker down or not.
I really wonder about why he's decided to mine those minerals on the ramp if he's going to move out this fast with SCVs and Marines. It's quite perplexing.
I don't know why he did that either. I think he wasn't prepared for a 12 Nexus build, and was probably gonna do some 2-fag Vulture build and run them around there.
And here we go.
So we see bunker going up. Bunker going up.
Bunker's going down, but I really don't think this is going to work. I mean, the JF has got his first Dragoon out, and the Zealots nicely taking out those Marines, and the probe's already pulled. I don't think that bunker's going to be able to get up in time at all. Although, and yes, there goes the last few SCVs. Although, oh wow, Bradoock has managed to micro his way into a position where that 12 Nexus is going to get bunkered. Wow.
Yeah, and JF is gonna have to wait till his goon range finishes to be able to kill that bunker, and it's gonna be the question is gonna be if Bradoock is gonna be able to kill off that Nexus before the goon range finishes.
I have no idea how that just happened. That's just simply amazing. I mean, and now that 12 Nexus is going to fall before that goon range is done. This is wow. I mean, now we've got Bradoock adding. Bradoock is adding a starport now, so I don't know. I kind of expected the command center, but the drops could be a pretty good tactic.
So the Nexus goes down, and Bradoock is in a really position. JF has a probe out though, and he may be able to scout that starport going up for Bradoock. Although Bradoock has 3 Marines outside of his main, at his choke, waiting for that.
JF has realized what kind of position he's in, and now he's adding Templar tech. So he's going to be going for the Dark Templar, and I think he's probably seen those out the back way, which Bradoock had kindly cleared for him. I mean, okay, he's managed to break the contain at his natural, which was expected now that goon range is done. But Bradoock has been very slow on any kind of detection, so these Dark Templar may just be able to even things up.
Bradoock has mines though, and he laid some mines in the middle of the map. But JF probably knew this was coming and is proxying a gateway just to get those Dark Templar around those mines. And that's a really nice decision of JF. Meanwhile, Bradoock is sending his vultures around. He remembers that he mined away those minerals at the back.
And here we go. This is exactly what I was telling you about before, Rage.
Kill some more probes.
If you ever look at the probe trying to mine the minerals, it's missing half the time. It's so that plan isn't going to work very well, so he's going to have to go around through the front. This is one way why SCVs are imbalanced on this map.
Wow, is that because probes are ranged? They mine ranged too? And
exactly.
That's why they miss? Oh.
Exactly, it's one of those things you never notice because you never have to mine uphill.
Yeah, indeed. Luckily, you never have to.
And we see Bradoock come around the back with those vultures. And they're not going to be able to do anything because, you know, their mine just self-owned them. I mean, JF is retaking his natural, and the first Dark Templar is coming out of the proxy gateway, and this is going to be the defining moment of this game right here, to see how Bradoock responds to this Dark Templar.
In the meanwhile, actually those vultures he sent around were only a distraction because he dropped vultures in JF's base and killed off a lot of probes and 2 goons, I think. Now, that Dark Templar is just going to town, as Chill would say, on those vultures and on that command center, and Bradoock doesn't have any detection besides mine, so he'll have to just vulture micro his way out of this.
Oh, this is how Bradoock responds to this is going to be it. Oh wow, amazing! Wow. That was such a miss micro by JF. I mean, he obviously he didn't expect that mine to go down so fast, even though he should have, and now he's lost. Now he's lost both his Dark Templar, and now he's in a very bad position.
Yeah, and the other Dark Templar was trying to go around that choke, but he didn't realize that his probe got killed before he got to mine those minerals, and so that Dark Templar was stuck over there.
I actually think that he just rallied it into the main, and it just went around the back because, you know, how AI is in this game. And, that Dark Templar in the natural is probably going to end up dying to mines, although he'll probably be able to delay the expansion for a while. And a second Dark Templar is entered, and look, we goes 1 Dark Templar. We've only got 1 Dark Templar left in the natural. This is very tense right now. I mean, JF is doing a good job being able to micro against those mines, being able to take them out before they sink. But 1 mine has managed to get down. But it's just out of range of the Dark Templar. I mean, Bradoock must be shitting himself right now. I mean, here we go, 1 right next to it, and JF is managing to take it out. Oh wow, JF is doing a really good job with this final Dark Templar right here.
Yeah, I agree, and the question is, will he get that command center up and be able to lift it off before the Dark Templar gets it to 0 hit points? It's really important that he gets that command center up and sends a new SCV and kills off that Dark Templar immediately. In the meanwhile, JF has his natural running and his main running, and he's had cannons against Vulture harass.
Yeah, I mean, the mines are starting to take effect now. They're being able to control the DT harass quite well. I mean, JF still had his natural up much faster than Bradoock, thanks to that really good Dark Templar harass, but he did lose quite a bit of probes to that drop.
Yes, that's very true. And JF's still producing DTs here, but they can't do much damage anymore. Comm sets are going up, mines are in place, and Bradoock is just looking to finish off that pylon, so the proxy becomes ineffective. JF's still making DTs. I don't know why he's doing that. They can't do any damage anymore.
Yeah, I mean, well, the great thing about that proxy gateway is that it really bought a lot of time for JF, and that's exactly what he needed. I mean, with his back door open and his probes getting raided, he really needs to stall that expansion and try get his economy, stall Bradoock's economy from getting any more stronger than it needed to be. I mean, one more Dark Templar is up, and oh, Bradoock wasted the stupid scan there trying to get it, and now that Dark Templar should be able to get around and do some damage inside the natural before he manages to get any turrets up. In fact, I don't even think he's got an engineering bay yet.
Yeah, he doesn't. And Bradoock is starting a third command center, which is too bad in my opinion because, oh, yeah, Vulture's harassing the third Nexus of JF. JF doesn't even hasn't even started on his robo yet. Oh yes, he just started a couple of minutes ago, maybe half a minute rather, and
yeah,
he's just harassing on. He's harassing the main, laying some.
And oh, that is, I mean, once again, this is some very good Vulture micro. And I mean, on this map without that extra block of minerals there, Vulture harass is really strong, and Bradoock is showing exactly why that is so. Right now, Bradoock is taking his third base at the mineral only, which, you know, isn't as good as taking it at the gas expansion at the front, but the gateway's there, so this way he keeps it hidden.
Bradoock doing more Vulture harass at that third. He saw that the robo wasn't even finished when he moved in with those Vultures, and he's gonna try and kill that Nexus off with only Vultures. Meanwhile, JF is... It
looks like he'll be able to take out that Nexus with just Vultures from the look of it.
Yeah, the observatory isn't even done yet, and JF has forces nearby. He's trying to mind drag with the Zealots here and move in with his Dragoons, but if Bradoock properly micros his Vultures, he should be able to get those Dragoons to walk into those mines.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, I really don't like JF's position right now. He's only sitting at around 60 supply, whereas Bradoock is cranking 80. I mean, that's not a good sign for Protoss at all. I mean, oh no, the Vultures are getting a number of probe kills as they maynard towards his own third, and mines are going to town on those Dragoons, and oh, this is... Bradoock is taking this game in style.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's also dropping in the in JF's main, and Bradoock really putting on the pressure while expanding, and he's looking in a really good. He's looking to be in a really good position. JF doesn't have any idea of how many expansions Bradoock has, so he thinks he's really ahead with his 3 bases here, but Bradoock has 3 of himself, and you can see how much a late observer can kill you here, how much damage that Vulture harass did, and with JF being in the dark, he didn't know how to react to Bradoock's strategy here.
I disagree with that. I mean, sure, the late observers were a large part in the Vulture harass being so effective, but JF was also set back quite a while by having Templar Tech first, and then also losing his 12 Nexus. So I mean, he did come out of the early game at a disadvantage, and we're seeing that right now. And still, Bradoock's coming out and doing really a good job with his Vultures. I mean, that's really the defining moment, the defining feature of this game so far.
Yeah, I completely agree. His Vultures are defining this game, but now he ran some Vultures behind that natural mineral line, but he forgot to focus fire on the probes, and that made the Vultures completely ineffective. If we look back at Bradoock's main, he only has 2 tanks. That's nothing. But he spent so much time harassing, and that's why he didn't even have time to produce tanks. One of his only 4 tanks is going for a drop in the main, but JF saw it coming and is trying to pick it off. But the Vultures are being microed really nicely to keep those Dragoons away from that dropship. But I don't think that dropship is gonna be able to do any damage, just flying over the main. Dragoons were already ready for it there, and I hope it's gonna be able to escape.
Yeah, it looks like that dropship will be able to escape, although it does look like he's going to try to harass JF's further. I mean, JF's taking his 4th now, but so is Bradoock, so there's still equal bases, and so I've got to give the advantage to Bradoock still. I mean, the dropship's coming around the back and trying to snipe some probes at the natural, but here comes JF with his units, and it looks like he'll be able to get down that dropship, and yes, there it goes. Oh, I managed to get the tank down just in time to get a few more shots off, but still, not very good. I mean, JF is still sitting only at, what, only 4 gateways, and he's already on 4 bases, so he's got as many bases as he does gateways, which, you know, you need more gateways, although his macro is suffering right now. With that said, because Bradoock is on equal bases, he's got to be happy with his economical situation right now. I mean, right, as we can see, we've got Bradoock trying to push across the bridges, and he's getting himself into a good position, because the Protoss can't run across those bridges very easily when you've got a few Vultures, mines, and because Dragoons are basically stupid, and if you can't get your Dragoons to flank properly, then they're just going to get destroyed by the splash of the tanks. And we can see now that the tanks are coming in, and they're taking on JF's 3rd base, and JF has already retreated the probes from there, so at least all he's going to lose is space. Oh, we got JF countering, and he's managed to take out the 4th, and he will be able to come in and attack the natural now, and this is going to be one of the things that is going to determine the outcome of this game right here. And Bradoock is coming back to defend this push, so no, I don't think this is going to work, and I think JF should be retreating very soon.
Well, Bradoock is moving in on the natural now. They're killing each other's bases basically, and Bradoock has nothing to defend against that. Nothing. He does have a lot of factories, but can he get his tanks and Vultures in a good position to defend that? I don't think so. So this is going to be kind of a photo finish here. Both players losing all their mining expansion.
This is hugely advantageous to JF. Bradoock only has 3 SCVs at his other mining expansion, and he's just lost his only other mining expansion. So currently, he's only got less than 300 mineable minerals at his main. Meanwhile, JF still has a good number left in his main, and he's got the bottom right, which is pretty much fully saturated. JF has managed to come back into this game with a vengeance with that nicely timed counter.
I don't know, it's still looking really close for me. I mean, if you look at the factory count on Bradoock, he just has a lot of factories.
The problem with that many factories is that you need an economy to support it, which he doesn't have at the moment. So JF has got a nice opportunity here to be able to do a bit of damage and make up some ground which he's lost.
Bradoock doing some nice Vulture micro surrounding those Dragoons, and JF loses all of those Dragoons. JF's only remaining forces are at that natural bridge here, which are 5 Goons, 4 Zealots, and 1 DT. And looks like Bradoock is keen on moving in again, and I think he wants to finish off that bottom left expansion, which would be really nice for him. He's getting up his natural again, and is looking to establish his economy again so he can put those factories to use.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he hasn't transferred most of those SCVs to the top right to mine those minerals and get a better income for that. And he's also sending all those SCVs to distance mine over at 11 o'clock. That's really peculiar. And as we can see, we got Bradoock coming around the back with a number of tanks, and that's going to be very bad for JF if he can kill that bottom left expansion, because that's all that's keeping JF in the game right now. Meanwhile, we got JF trying to counter back at the natural and try again force us into elimination race, but Bradoock isn't going to fall for it, and mines and tanks are able to take out the sting of that attack, and JF is in a really bad position. We've got Bradoock destroying the base down at the bottom left corner of the map. Meanwhile, JF has managed to clear out Bradoock's forces, but I don't think he'll be able to take the follow-up wave of reinforcements.
Yeah, I completely agree. If he sieges those tanks on the cliff and blocks his ramp, Bradoock should be safe from any more damage. He's trying to keep that command center alive though, which I think he shouldn't even attempt. JF meanwhile trying to clean up that push with some Dark Templar, but Bradoock is really good at multitasking and scans right away.
Yeah, well, Bradoock has been able to take 11 o'clock, so now he's got another mining base online. He's got the top right till JF's 0. So Bradoock has really come back from that slight setback and really confirmed or solidified his position in this game. Even though JF has done quite a bit of damage at that natural, at the end of the day, that really wasn't going to be able to steal the game away from him. Now with 3 bases online, Bradoock is going to be able to run away with this game.
Well, JF is trying to pull something here. He's killing off the comsats of Bradoock, so he his DTs can kill off that force at the bottom there. But Bradoock still has 1 comsat up with 90 energy, so he still has enough scans to finish off that Nexus at the bottom there.
What is intriguing is that, well, JF does have another mining base online now. It's at 5 o'clock, but JF is sitting on 42 supply, while Bradoock is now sitting at 70. So Bradoock has got a lot of units in the bank to be able to deal with whatever JF is going to be able to throw at him. And I really can't see JF coming back from this, despite his cutesy little trick to kill off the scanners.
Yeah, very, very true. And if you look at JF's base, he's only mining off 1 mineral patch that's almost depleted now. So I don't expect this to last very long either.
The Dark Templar doing a very good job of trying to stop that push, but it's just not enough at this stage in the game. And I mean, I think Bradoock is onto the at 5 o'clock now, and yes, we can see Vulture's preparing to cross the bridge, and here they go, and 1 cannon isn't going to be able enough to stop those 5 Vultures, and JF really doesn't have the units to commit to be able to save that base. I mean, he's pulling probes to defend against Vultures, and any Protoss player will tell you that's absolute suicide, but he really doesn't have any other choice right now. And here come the reinforcing tanks, and that should be game right there. I mean, after more probes getting slaughtered, this is just... We need International Save the Probes Day after this. This is so bad. And that's it. JF can't do anything. He's got 0 bases. His last mineable Nexus is going down, and there's really nothing he can do.
Yeah, it looks like he's just gonna suicide his units into those tanks and GG shortly after that.
That's always a good way to release some stress, by just throwing your units as hard as you can at the Terran and seeing how far you can go. Sometimes it works, most of the time it doesn't. I mean, Dark Templars are cleaning up some of the tanks a bit, but you know, it doesn't matter. Bradoock is going up to 4 base, JF on 0, and there's the GG, and we have got an even game here with 2 games apiece. And wow, Rage, that was quite an impressive game.
Yeah, I think we're seeing it all this Liquibition. We had huge macro games like that on Othello there, and we had micro games like the Troy early game, and this game was almost pure micro actually.
Yeah, I mean, after that amazing micro of Bradoock right at the start with that SEV Marine Vulture push, I mean, from there on it was just all about Bradoock and his Vulture harass. I mean, it was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, a lot of props to Bradoock for completely stopping tank production while Vulture harassing there. You only had 2 tanks. You gotta have balls to stay against, what was it, 10 goons with 2 tanks? Just relying on your Vulture control to distract him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Bradoock really showed some good thinking on the spot and good adaptation to JF's gameplay, and he was able to get in there and be able to do a lot of damage by taking a huge risk with those Vultures, because as a Protoss player, I know that Vultures are always a huge gamble. I mean, if you can get good Dragoon micro in, those Vultures can be completely destroyed with relative ease. However, when they're controlled right, they invariably do a lot of damage. And so we come back to Othello, and I'm pleased we've got this because the last Othello game was so good. But the thing here is that now that the game's tied to a piece and Bradoock has taken Othello, if JF cannot win here, he needs to win on Lost Temple, which was, Bradoock's pick. So this, I think, is a JF must-win map. What are your thoughts on that, Rach?
Yeah, I completely agree. He has to win on this, and it's gonna be really hard after that last Othello game. I mean, last game he was clearly aiming for the late game, and he was already ahead in the early game, and he was aiming for the late game. And Bradoock was behind and managed to beat JF in the late game. So JF has got to feel less confident about his late game here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if JF opted to open with, I don't know, some kind of early pressure builds, maybe 2-gate range, Reaver Break, or even something like that, just to avoid a late game on this map against Bradoock.